Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly attract success and wealth, while others struggle despite their hard work? The answer lies not in luck or talent, but in the power of focused, bold action, a secret formula hiding in plain sight. What if mastering a simple routine of focus and thankfulness could unlock the door to your own financial freedom? In this book, you'll journey through practical steps, powerful mindsets, and disciplined habits designed to ignite your winning focus and free you from distractions that hold you back. Discover how to build a life where bold actions lead you steadily toward prosperity and independence. Bold Actions Win: How Focus Creates Financial Freedom, written and published by Intentional Prosperity. Chapter 1. Ignite Your Winning Focus. Have you ever found yourself standing at the crossroads of opportunity and doubt, wondering why some people seem to move confidently toward their dreams, while others freeze, feeling stuck before they can even begin? Imagine for a moment that your goals, whether big or small, hover just out of reach, not because you lack desire or talent, but because something critical is missing: the power of true, winning focus. This elusive force is the spark that transforms ordinary days into extraordinary journeys and turns scattered energy into unstoppable momentum. Now is your chance to harness that same spark, to ignite within yourself a focus so sharp and clear that every obstacle feels surmountable and every aspiration suddenly seems within your grasp. But let's be honest, most of us know what it feels like to falter. Daily life teems with demands, distractions, and doubts that erode our attention, leaving our dreams buried beneath unfinished tasks and lost motivation. Perhaps you constantly struggle to stick to your plans, or you find your intentions dissolving into a haze of interruptions. The truth is, the world doesn't make it easy to find clarity. You might wake up with a mind buzzing with ambitions, only to fall asleep wondering where your day went, feeling frustrated and overwhelmed by everything left undone. The challenge is real. Many intelligent, talented people remain stuck in this cycle, not because they lack effort, but because their focus has never been truly awakened or directed. In a world of endless information, learning how to manage your attention has become more challenging and more essential than ever before. What if the secret to unlocking your best life is not about working harder or demanding more from yourself, but about mastering the art of focused energy? Imagine waking up each morning with not just a plan, but a sense of powerful certainty pulling you toward action. Focus is not a distant skill reserved for high achievers. It's a muscle every one of us can grow. Think of focus as the torchlight that guides you through the dark forest of chaos and confusion, illuminating the path to your goals and revealing steps you couldn't even see before. When you intentionally ignite and direct your focus, you awaken your hidden strengths and begin to operate on a whole new level. Harnessing winning focus starts by understanding that it isn't a matter of sheer willpower. It's about practicing intention in the little moments that make up your days. This simple shift can set off a chain reaction of growth, leading to heightened clarity, calmer thinking, and a consistent drive toward bold action. As you learn to light up your focus, you'll notice greater resilience against distractions and deeper satisfaction in your day-to-day progress. Over time, the transformation is profound. Not only do you get more done, but you begin to shape an empowered mindset, one that recognizes every small step as the foundation of lasting achievement. Choosing to honor your focus isn't just about reaching financial goals. It's about reclaiming your energy, your dreams, and your sense of direction. By the end of this journey, you will discover the powerful difference that an ignited focus can make, not just for your productivity, but for your freedom and joy. To begin turning inspiration into transformation, the first actionable step is to set aside a moment as you begin each day to define a clear point of focus. This can be as simple as writing down a single intention or area where you want to channel your energy. Maybe today your focus is on deepening your work on a special project, or perhaps it is nurturing a relationship or habit that will equip you for greater success in the long run. By committing even 30 seconds to this daily act, you draw a line in the sand, choosing direction over distraction. Imagine waking up and deciding that, no matter how much noise comes your way, you'll put your focus on building your personal financial foundation. You open your journal, Write this as your guiding intention and close your eyes for a breath, seeing yourself grounded and clear. Already, your mindset shifts from, "What should I do?" to, "This is my priority." With each morning, it grows easier. Once your focus is set, you can amplify its power with tiny, consistent acts throughout the day. Each time a distraction appears, or you feel yourself pulled in too many directions, pause and remind yourself of your chosen point. Picture a busy entrepreneur who, throughout the day, receives a flood of emails, texts, and unexpected meetings. Instead of reacting automatically, she quietly recalls her morning intention. "Today, I'm committed to advancing my savings plan." She permits herself to briefly assess new inputs with this primary focus in mind. If something serves her intention, she addresses it. If not, she postpones or delegates it. With each choice, she protects her focus, even if only for a few minutes at a time. As this becomes a reflex, decision-making is streamlined and stress replaced by satisfaction. The beauty of living with ignited focus is that it brings benefits that ripple far beyond a simple productivity boost. Over time, you may find a sense of internal order replacing chaos. Procrastination gives way to progress, and with each step, your belief in yourself grows stronger. As you gain momentum, others will notice your clarity and commitment. Maybe colleagues ask about your renewed drive, or friends seek your advice, sensing the calm confidence your focus radiates. These tangible results, steadier progress, increased resilience, and the freedom to make more intentional choices, are within your grasp. By continuing to practice focus, even on days when it feels challenging, you set in motion a constant self-renewal that reshapes your life, one action at a time. To put this thinking into practice immediately, try a short exercise before turning the page. Tonight or tomorrow morning, write down your one core focus for the day ahead. Keep it specific and personal, and place it somewhere visible, such as your desk, phone wallpaper, or a sticky note by your mirror. Whenever the flood of daily life threatens to wash away your clarity, glance at your note and gently return your attention to what truly matters. Let this become a ritual, a private invitation to live on purpose. Remember, mastery is built step by step, and every single return to focus counts. As you start embracing this process, allow yourself the excitement of new beginnings. The journey is just unfolding, and each commitment you make brings you closer to unlocking your true capabilities. In the next chapter, you'll take this foundational focus and learn how to clarify your goals while skillfully cutting out distractions, setting the stage for an even deeper transformation. Don't miss out on these essential insights. If you find these steps useful, let us know. Follow intentional prosperity, share your experiences, and be part of the conversation as together we grow toward financial freedom. Chapter 2. Clarify goals, cut distractions. Imagine walking into a vast marketplace, overflowing with sights, sounds, and endless invitations to explore. Every direction offers something new to see or try, but as you wander, you feel your purpose slipping away, replaced by the confusion of too many choices. Now, consider your daily life. It's noisy. It's filled with invitations, interruptions, temptations, and dozens of to-dos organized around everyone else's priorities but your own. Many ambitious people unwittingly drift through their days like this, tethered to their tasks but unconnected to a deeper sense of direction. The promise of focus can quickly fade when you find yourself constantly reacting rather than deliberately choosing your path. Most people set out to change their life armed only with vague ambitions. They claim they want success, happiness, or financial freedom. Yet when pressed, their goals remain fuzzy, nestled under layers of chores and distractions. The result is a kind of aimless effort where progress feels painfully slow or, worse, non-existent. You might have experienced this sense of floating, crossing off tasks, handling one emergency after another, but inching no closer to what truly matters. Deep down, the frustration builds because your energy gets scattered and your drive diluted by distractions, both big and small. Social media pings keep you from finishing important work. Family needs pull you away from personal development time, and unexpected crises routinely sideline your plans. Without clarity, it's all too easy to live reactively, your biggest dreams shrinking in the rearview mirror as you speed through another busy day. But what if you could step away from the noise and make everything suddenly sharp and vivid? like turning a blurry lens to perfect focus. What if you could define, in no uncertain terms, what your life is really moving toward and create a shield against daily distractions that threaten to derail your progress? The transformative solution is simple, yet powerful. Gain crystal clear clarity on your goals and consciously prune away what no longer serves those aspirations. This practice is like decluttering your mental and physical environment so that only the essentials, your highest priorities, remain. Instead of chasing 15 ideas with half your energy, you commit to a few, poured into with unapologetic attention. Clarity is the tool that transforms a crowded, chaotic existence into a well-designed path you feel excited to travel each morning. The core idea here is that defining your goals with precision is like setting the coordinates on your personal map of fulfillment. When you take the time to articulate exactly what you want, how much you want to earn, the life you hope to design, the values beneath your choices, you create a beacon that draws energy and opportunity directly into your orbit. Paired with the art of cutting out distractions, your environment becomes intentional, your habits purposeful, and your schedule aligned with the future you desire. The real magic isn't just in knowing what to avoid, but in knowing exactly what to nurture. As you clear space for your most meaningful goals, self-doubt and aimless busywork fall away, replaced by enthusiasm and a deepening sense of meaning. You start to look forward to each day's tasks, confident that every action is taking you somewhere worthwhile. The clarity you create acts as a filter, helping you say yes to only those things that move your dreams forward and no to the endless noise begging for your attention. To make the abstract concept of clarity concrete in your own life, the journey begins with a simple audit of your current situation. Find a quiet space, take out a notebook, and write down the 3 goals that feel most urgent and inspiring to you right now. They may relate to your financial situation, personal growth, relationships, or even your sense of inner peace. Challenge yourself to make each goal vivid and measurable. For example, instead of simply writing, "I want to save money," specify the exact amount and the timeline you hope to achieve it by. This step helps you move from the hazy territory of wishes to the concrete foundation of intentions you can act upon every day. Next, survey your routine, both work and personal, and honestly note down all the distractions that repeatedly prevent you from making progress. Perhaps it's mindless scrolling on your phone, agreeing to too many obligations, or an inability to say no when it counts. Once you have them on paper, take a moment to consider what distractions align least with your heartfelt goals, and which can be trimmed right now to make your path clearer. Let's bring this to life with the story of Mia, a young professional who found herself endlessly busy but rarely satisfied. She knew she wanted to earn a promotion and build a side business, but each evening ended in frustration, with most of her energy spent juggling emails, spontaneous meetups, and endless scrolling through news feeds. Inspired to clarify her path, Mia first blocked out an hour to write down her specific goals: a promotion within 6 months and a side business that would add a set amount to her savings by year-end. She then listed her daily distractions and realized she spent hours each week on low-priority meetings and mindless online activity. With her goals clear and distractions defined, Mia made bold changes. She began declining non-essential meetings, set app timers to limit social media, and reserved her peak energy for high-impact work blocks. The shift was immediate. She felt energized and centered. Her progress toward promotion tracked steadily upward, and each evening brought tangible steps toward her business ambitions. Mia's narrative illustrates that clarity is both freeing and empowering. When you know what matters, it becomes easier, even exhilarating, to say no to what drains you. By sharpening your goals and dismissing distractions, you'll notice subtle yet powerful changes unfolding. Your mind feels quieter and sharper, your priorities easier to protect. Empty busyness fades, replaced with a sense of being on track in ways that are both measurable and deeply satisfying. Your relationships benefit too, as intentional focus spills into conversations and commitments. The joy of steady progress becomes its own motivation, transforming wishful thinking into achievements you can see and celebrate. Over time, this self-designed approach turns into a cycle of positive reinforcement, The better you get at cutting distractions and nurturing focus, the more accomplishments naturally follow. To ignite this transformation now, set aside a few minutes today to complete your own clarity and distraction exercise. Write specific, measurable goals and consciously pinpoint at least one daily habit or drain you're ready to release. Place your primary goal somewhere you'll see each morning. If self-doubt arises, remember that this is a practice and progress is meant to build over time. Celebrate every win, no matter how small, and savor every new boundary drawn. As you continue this journey, the simple act of honest clarity will become your strongest guide. As you move ahead, be excited for what comes next. In the following chapter, we'll explore how to build bold action habits, taking your clarified goals out of theory and into consistent, purposeful movement. If you found inspiration here, let it show. Subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel, share your struggles and breakthroughs in the comments, and let's continue creating success together on this path toward genuine financial freedom and fulfillment. Chapter 3. Build bold action habits. Have you ever stood on the edge of a hopeful ambition, heart pounding with possibility, only to watch it fade because you couldn't get yourself to act again and again? This is not a rare frustration. Most high aspirations stall because the bridge from imagination to action is never built. You want to accomplish more, dream bigger, or simply gain control over your progress, but somehow you stall, circling intentions rather than moving them forward. The secret to breaking this all-too-common deadlock is not just willpower, and it isn't raw talent. It is the art of transforming hopes into repeated, confident actions, day after day, until progress is not just possible, but inevitable. Many people find themselves caught in repeated cycles of excitement, followed by inactivity. At the start of a new project or goal, motivation may surge, flooding your mind with creative plans and energy. For a few days, you feel unstoppable. But when reality returns, exhaustion, self-doubt, or unexpected roadblocks, suddenly the spark dies down and hesitation slips in. Good intentions can fizzle in the face of daily challenges, the spark replaced by guilt and self-criticism for not following through. Time after time, grand dreams remain untouched, and a sense of powerlessness grows. This struggle is not about personal weakness or lack of ambition. It comes from never having learned how to reliably make action automatic. When every effort takes willpower, progress feels unpredictable and fragile, leaving you doubting whether bold action is truly within reach. Imagine the relief and pride of flipping this narrative. Waking up knowing that putting your plans into action is part of who you are, not an occasional exception. What makes this transformation possible is developing bold action habits. Small, regular practices that gently but firmly nudge you to keep moving forward regardless of motivation. Habits are the great equalizer. They take tasks we struggle with and weave them into a comfortable, automatic rhythm. The transformative solution is to intentionally build bold action into your life, one manageable, consistent step at a time. This approach allows you to sidestep the constant drain of willpower and build powerful routines that work in your favor even on tough days. Picture habits as a personal support system. A morning routine that gets your day started with intention, an evening pulse check that brings closure to unfinished tasks, even a simple ritual of noting 3 tiny steps toward your goals each day. The difference between a scatter of once-in-a-while effort and a future built on regular achievement is astonishing. The promise of cultivating action habits is life-changing. Consistency transforms possibility into reality. What was once a struggle becomes natural, no longer something you have to negotiate with yourself about every day. Over time, effort gives way to momentum, and you find yourself accomplishing tasks with a growing sense of ease and enjoyment. Even on days filled with uncertainty or setbacks, habits serve as your personal safety net, catching you, holding you, and encouraging you to keep moving. The core idea is both accessible and powerful. You don't need to take massive leaps. Bold habits begin as small, determined actions, repeated until they become second nature. Every bit of progress builds self-respect and dissolves self-doubt, giving you a foundation to stand on as you chase bigger, bolder dreams. The effect? You not only begin to trust your ability to create change, but also discover that each habit you nurture is a building block for the next stage of your transformation. proof that ordinary actions, chosen with purpose, truly have the power to forge an extraordinary life. To turn your intentions into bold action habits, it is important to give yourself structure and make your steps as approachable as possible. Begin with a target behavior, something simple but meaningful that brings you closer to your bigger goal. Start with just one action at a time. Perhaps it is 5 minutes of focused financial planning each morning, or making a single professional call before checking emails. By anchoring your desired action to an existing part of your day, such as right after breakfast or as soon as you shut down your computer for the evening, you begin to lay tracks for your brain to follow. Repetition is your ally here. The more you pair these behaviors with established routines, the less you will hesitate, and the faster these actions become part of who you are, instead of something you struggle to remember. Consider Marcus, a reader who struggled for years to save money and invest consistently. Inspiration was never his problem, staying on track was. Marcus decided that instead of chasing big changes, he would set an automatic transfer of a small amount to savings every payday. Then, each Saturday morning, he would dedicate 10 minutes to review his accounts and read one article about investing. By tethering these actions to moments already present in his week, Marcus no longer needed to constantly muster motivation. Within months, his results blossomed. A steady savings account, a deeper understanding of investments, and a newfound pride that no amount of motivational quotes ever sparked before. He looked back and realized he had built a financial safety net through steady, manageable steps that no longer felt like chores, but part of his identity. As your habits take shape, their benefits flow into all parts of your life. You notice anxiety lessen, replaced by a firm sense of control over your outcomes. Complicated tasks become less overwhelming because momentum does much of the work for you. The clearer your habits become, the more energy you have to invest in new ambitions. Self-doubt slowly evaporates as achievement accumulates, building a cycle of self-assurance that can weather obstacles. People around you may not always see the silent ritual of habit building, but over time, your growing competence and stability shine through in the way you show up each day. The transformation is subtle at first, then unmistakable. To begin your own shift, commit today to choose one action that supports a major goal and anchor it to a specific moment in your daily routine. Keep it so simple it is impossible to fail. If you want to write a book, start with 10 minutes of writing after lunch. If you wish to learn a new skill, dedicate your evening wind down to reading or practice. Mark off each success on a calendar for visual encouragement and, if you slip, reset with compassion and try again the next day. The process is less about perfection and more about persistence. Small steps, well placed and relentlessly repeated, lay the strongest foundations. As you witness even minor changes accumulate, your belief in bigger possibilities grows. You realize you have the power to rewrite your daily story, and bold action is no longer intimidating. It's your new normal. In the next chapter, you'll discover tools to strengthen discipline even further, ensuring your action habits remain intact under pressure, distraction, or even exhaustion. If these insights have helped you, join the Intentional Prosperity community, share your progress, and let your journey motivate others to build a courageous life marked by daily victories and long-term freedom. Chapter 4. Strengthen discipline for success. What if you could trust yourself to honor your promises, not just when it's easy, but every time it counts? Imagine a version of yourself who keeps moving forward even when enthusiasm fades, who shows up for goals on days when most people make excuses. Discipline is the underrated force at the heart of every successful story, quietly fueling action long after initial motivation has disappeared. It is the invisible muscle that determines whether your dreams become real accomplishments or remain forever out of reach. In a world that values quick fixes and shortcuts, true discipline stands out as the steady engine behind outstanding progress. For many, discipline feels like a struggle against invisible resistance. You set clear goals and form promising habits, yet life's surprises send you off track. There are busy days when time is scarce, hard days when energy lags, and tempting moments when comfort calls louder than commitment. You might wake up ready to follow your plan, but by afternoon, old patterns sneak in. At the end of another week, Frustration sets in as you discover a to-do list still unfinished and intentions that slipped quietly away. The pain is often compounded by self-blame, wondering if more willpower could have kept you on course. This cycle is universal, repeated in boardrooms and bedrooms, among artists and accountants alike. We are wired for comfort and novelty, secretly longing for change, even as consistency proves elusive. While quick results are appealing, they rarely last. What sustains meaningful progress isn't a burst of effort, it's discipline showing up, quietly but powerfully, day after day, especially when no one is watching. The breakthrough begins when you learn to see discipline not as a grim exercise in self-denial, but as a supportive structure that frees you to excel. Discipline is not the absence of pleasure or comfort. It is the commitment to do the right thing even when circumstances tempt you otherwise. It becomes accessible when you break it down into manageable parts, starting with micro-commitments and building confidence one fulfilled promise at a time. Rather than relying on endless willpower, you design your day to make the right choice the easy choice. For example, you might commit to starting your day with your most important task before looking at your phone, or reward yourself for a small step completed. These tiny rituals act as guardrails, guiding your attention and energy where it matters most. The powerful secret is that discipline generates freedom, not restriction. When you consistently do what matters most, your mind grows calmer, your days become more predictable, and you're able to explore, enjoy, and even take risks from a place of stability. Each act of discipline adds to your self-respect, expanding your resilience in the face of setbacks. As you reinforce these small practices, they coalesce into a sense of reliability. You learn that you can depend on yourself, a confidence that spills into every other ambition. Discipline, then, is the assurance that you'll keep going, not in spite of difficulty, but because of it. The benefits ripple outward. Relationships deepen, your finances strengthen, and the chaos of unfinished tasks fades as clarity and control take center stage. With this new perspective, anyone can begin, and everyone can grow stronger, one disciplined action at a time. To finally bring discipline to life in your routine, begin by identifying one important task or goal you consistently avoid or struggle with. Rather than trying to overhaul your entire routine, start by making a non-negotiable, bite-sized promise to complete that task every day, no matter what. For instance, if budgeting is your challenge, decide to spend 5 minutes reviewing your finances first thing each morning before doing anything else. Set up visual cues, like laying your notebook on your desk the night before or setting a reminder alarm with a positive message. This tiny, predetermined step disrupts procrastination and proves to your mind that action does not demand overwhelming motivation, just a clear signal and a commitment, however small. Take the example of Sophia, who always considered herself undisciplined, overwhelmed by the gaps between her ambitions and daily reality. She resolved that each evening, before relaxing or scrolling her phone, she would list 3 small wins from the day, no matter how minor. Over several weeks, that nightly ritual built a momentum she had never felt before. Wins felt good, but more importantly, keeping her small promise, even when tired or busy, grew her sense of self-trust. Her self-criticism faded as she experienced the positive effects of accumulated effort, and soon she began tackling larger tasks with similar consistency. Sophia's story is a testament to discipline's compounding effect. Consistency in one small area builds a sense of control that naturally spreads into other aspects of life. Gradually layer more of these micro-promises into your day, letting each one become automatic before adding another. Anchor new habits to existing routines, preparing your workspace after your morning coffee or returning that important email immediately after lunch. If you encounter resistance, adjust, but don't abandon your commitment. Reflect on your why, the deeper reason you long for progress, and remind yourself that discipline is about self-care, not self-punishment. Consider moments when motivation inevitably dips. This is your chance to lean on your process, not feelings, and prove that consistent action is possible even on low-energy days. A setback is just a moment, not a verdict. What matters is returning to your promised action without judgment. As this structure grows in your life, the benefits multiply in surprising ways. Your stress will diminish, decision fatigue becomes lighter, and confidence rises as you realize you are no longer at the mercy of moods or circumstances. Others around you will feel this shift as you keep your word more powerfully and show up for commitments with renewed energy. The workplace gets smoother, family life steadier, and your sense of calm purpose deepens. Success stops being accidental and starts being intentional, built on a foundation of integrity with yourself. Ultimately, discipline gives you the rare and liberating privilege of spreading your attention, not thinner, but wider, knowing the fundamentals are strong and secure. To make discipline a cornerstone in your growth, challenge yourself today. Choose just one action you want to carry through no matter what. A morning review, a daily walk, or a note of thanks. Then do it for 2 weeks before expanding. Mark your efforts visibly and celebrate progress rather than perfection. Your power to follow through on the smallest promise is the truest measure of future achievement. As you commit to each disciplined step, you are writing a new narrative about what is possible for your life. Up next, prepare to face fear and act anyway, the vital skill of channeling uncertainty into action, so your growth cannot be stalled by self-doubt. If this chapter encouraged even a small shift, let us know. Subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel, share your experience in the comments, and help shape a community dedicated to purpose, positivity, and real financial freedom. Chapter 5. Face fear, act anyway. What if the only thing standing between you and the life you want is a single moment of courage? Imagine the doors that could open if, instead of freezing or turning away when fear arrived, you learned to respond with bold, decisive action. Fear is universal. It can show up as a silent nervousness before making a big decision, or as a loud, paralyzing resistance when you stand on the edge of something new. Most people imagine success as belonging to those who feel no fear, but the truth is different. The most remarkable breakthroughs often come not by eliminating fear, but by finding the inner strength to move forward despite it. Every story of change is a story of courage in the face of doubt. Fear is familiar to all of us, no matter our situation. It creeps in before making career changes, starting a venture, having difficult conversations, or simply showing your authentic self to the world. Often, fear projects itself as a barrier, convincing you to delay action, skip opportunities, or cling tightly to routine, even when your dreams are calling you forward. You might recognize that tightness in your chest, the racing thoughts, or the pressing urge to stay safe in what's familiar. Over time, this pattern becomes a quiet thief, stealing chances for growth and confining you to the limits of comfort. Many people look back on missed opportunities and realize it wasn't lack of talent or resources that held them back, but the habit of letting fear dictate their actions. The pain of regret, wondering what could have been, is the price of listening to fear rather than rewriting its message. But what if you decided not to let fear become your decision maker? The transformative solution is to change your relationship with fear by using it as a signal for action, not avoidance. You can't eliminate all fear. That's not the goal. Instead, you can learn to welcome it as evidence that you're stretching, growing, or about to build something valuable. When you start to perceive fear as a prompt for purposeful movement rather than a wall, everything shifts. The first step is recognizing that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to take chosen steps despite its presence. With practice, each small defiance of fear, raising your hand in a meeting, sending the application, making the phone call, or saying what needs to be said, builds confidence and rewires your internal story from "I can't" to "I did." Imagine how your life could change if you accepted fear as part of growth, not a warning sign to retreat, but a signal to lean in with resolve. This mind shift brings extraordinary benefits. You'll start chasing opportunities others are still analyzing, discover strengths within you that only action can reveal, and gain a deep trust in your ability to handle uncertainty. As you get used to acting in the presence of fear, the fear itself loses its hold, shrinking with each bold choice until possibilities no longer scare you, they excite you. Ultimately, adopting this outlook unlocks a new level of personal freedom and achievement, showing you an identity on the other side of fear that is unstoppable and deeply alive, eager for continuous growth and success. To put fearless action into practice, start by simply noticing when fear shows up in your life. It could appear as hesitation before speaking your mind, anxiety about trying something you've never done, or doubt creeping in before an important decision. Begin by naming the fear in plain words, either quietly to yourself or with pen and paper. There is real power in honest acknowledgement. Once fear is named, it loses some of its grip, becoming something you can examine, not just obey. Next, identify one small but essential action that moves you in the direction you want to go, regardless of your fear. The key is to make the step so achievable that there's little excuse to delay it. If you're afraid of networking, draft one email to someone in your field. If you fear public speaking, offer to share an idea in a smaller meeting first. If financial risk worries you, allocate a tiny sum toward your goal and review the outcome. Take the action and immediately reflect, noticing two important things. First, the outcome, and second, the fact that you acted despite the fear. Consider Olivia, who long dreamed of launching a handmade jewelry business, but became paralyzed by what-ifs. What if nobody liked her designs? What if she lost money? What if she failed publicly? One day, after reading about the power of small, bold steps, she decided to act anyway, setting up a simple online shop with just 5 pieces. Despite lingering nerves, she hit publish, knowing it wasn't about instant success, but about showing up in the face of fear. The response, though modest, was a rush of pride and excitement far greater than the worry she'd felt before. With each sale and bit of feedback, Olivia's fear shrank, replaced by faith that motion would reveal solutions fear had tried to hide. Soon, bigger risks felt less frightening. Not because fear was gone, but because now Olivia saw herself as someone capable of acting anyway. When you dare to start, reality is less intimidating than what you imagined. The benefit of acting through fear echoes beyond the single moment. Action expands your comfort zone so that yesterday's limits become today's routine. Each step, even tiny, panels a stronger sense of self-confidence and opens new paths that your old habits would have missed entirely. You start to see yourself as resourceful and resilient, someone who can face setbacks and adapt. That courage creates a ripple effect, inviting others in your circles to do the same. Fear starts shrinking for your team, your friends, and your family as they witness what's possible when doubt doesn't call the shots. To encourage your fearless growth, write down one small, specific thing you've been putting off because of fear. Commit to taking that first brave step within the next 24 hours. Afterward, celebrate the fact that you acted, not just the result. Remind yourself daily that courage is built with practice, not perfection. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes until your automatic response to fear is to lean in rather than back away. As you keep strengthening this vital muscle, you prepare yourself for the kind of execution that separates wishful thinkers from doers. In the next chapter, you'll discover the art of executing with laser precision, transforming courage into results by acting with purpose and clarity. If you found value in this lesson, support our intentional prosperity community by subscribing, commenting on your experiences, or suggesting new ways we can act boldly together on the journey to real financial freedom. Chapter 6. Execute with laser precision. Imagine if every action you took moved you clearly and efficiently toward your highest goals. No effort wasted, no energy scattered across tasks that barely matter. Imagine the satisfaction of finishing each day knowing you didn't just stay busy, you accomplished what truly makes a difference in your life and future. In a world overflowing with choices and urgent demands, the greatest threat to progress is not always lack of intention or motivation, but lack of precision. Many people work tirelessly, but find themselves frustrated or burned out because their actions lack focus and purpose, leaving the results they most desire just out of reach. The problem is so common you might see it in your own routine. Days slip by in flurries of emails, meetings, errands, and multitasking, all giving the illusion of productivity, but rarely bringing you closer to your core ambitions. Energy leaks out as you switch between competing priorities, chase small tasks, or react to interruptions at every turn. The nagging stress of incompletion lingers, and progress feels slow or even invisible. Without a clear, intentional approach, even the hardest workers can spend years moving sideways, giving everything except their best outcomes, the attention they deserve. At its core, the pain comes from never quite knowing that your effort matters most where it counts. You may often know what needs to be done, but falter when clarifying the critical steps, leading to a sense of constant effort but sparse forward momentum. What if you could cut through all that noise with the certainty and clarity of a laser, directing your time, talent, and energy with surgical accuracy? The transformative solution is learning how to execute with laser precision, a practice that means focusing relentlessly on the exact tasks and choices that propel you forward, while ignoring tempting distractions, low-impact activities, and the urge to juggle everything at once. This skill is available to anyone, not just the exceptionally organized. It's about matching intention with efficient action and being bold enough to protect your most valuable hours and resources from whatever is less essential. The real challenge of modern success is not finding one more thing to do, but learning exactly what to ignore and how to go deeply into what truly matters. The core idea behind this solution is both empowering and freeing. Laser precision means distilling every big ambition into a handful of key actions that, done consistently, create exponential results. You replace busy with effective. Each morning begins with clear priorities chosen in alignment with your larger goals. Each work session starts by eliminating distractions and sharpening your focus. Instead of fighting your way through endless demands, you carve out blocks of undisturbed time for your single most important tasks. Over time, your process becomes a personal system, a way to channel your strengths, manage resources, and measure results with less stress and more confidence. As you make this skill your own, you protect your progress from the chaos of modern life and discover a growing sense of control, achievement, and satisfaction. This isn't about striving for perfection or rigid control. It's about working smarter and living by design, ultimately creating more space, energy, and peace as you watch your efforts finally rise to meet your boldest ambitions. To begin implementing laser precision in your life, start by identifying the single most important outcome you want this week, something that, if accomplished, would make a profound impact on your progress. Everything begins with clarity, so take a few moments to write down this key objective where you can see it often. Now break this outcome into 3 essential tasks. Instead of overwhelming yourself with a cluttered to-do list, devote meaningful blocks of uninterrupted time to the tasks that have the highest impact. This step recalibrates your daily effort toward depth rather than breadth. For example, if your goal is to increase your income by launching a side business, pinpoint the top actions that would actually move the venture forward. Reaching out to potential early customers, refining your offer, or building your sales page. Block out a protected time slot and focus exclusively on one task at a time, ignoring the easy urge to multitask or react to upcoming emails and notifications. Consider the experience of Lionel, a father of 2 who was determined to free his evenings for family time by becoming more focused at work. Instead of starting his mornings with emails and meeting requests, he decided to define his top task before the workday began. Every morning, Lionel set a timer for 90 minutes, silenced his devices, and worked solely on his core deliverable, an essential client report. Resistant at first, he found the process challenging, but quickly grew amazed by how much deeper he could work, how quickly his confidence improved, and how satisfied he felt leaving the office each afternoon. He noticed fewer late nights, better quality in his work, and more time for his true priorities: family dinners, reading, and self-development. Precision brought newfound satisfaction and space he hadn't realized was missing. The rewards for executing with precision are both practical and transformational. The stress of feeling perpetually behind fades as you discover you are making tangible progress. Small victories each day build into major achievements over weeks and months. Your motivation picks up. Instead of dreading inefficiency, you look forward to each focused block. Tasks that once dragged on for days get done in record time, giving you more freedom and sense of accomplishment. Perhaps even more significant, your self-trust grows steadily, because you repeatedly prove to yourself that your actions align with your priorities. Over time, laser precision also empowers you to say no with greater ease. When you know exactly what matters most, turning down distractions, non-essentials, and competing demands feels not only possible, but necessary and natural. To activate precision today, take 20 minutes to plan tomorrow's top goal and 3 key actions. Protect your best time as if it were non-negotiable. If you hit a snag or find yourself distracted, gently return to your chosen focus and remind yourself that mastery is a matter of return, not perfection. Celebrate your completion and reflect on what it made possible: extra time, peace of mind, and measurable progress. As you practice these steps and witness the results, you'll solidify a powerful advantage in your journey: the ability to turn vision into real, measurable results. No wasted motion, just clear forward strides. In the next chapter, you'll discover how this focus on execution and efficiency unlocks new pathways to expand wealth and opportunity. If you have found practical inspiration in these techniques, join the Intentional Prosperity community by subscribing, sharing your insights or stories, and helping to build a circle of support for everyone striving for excellence in work and life. Chapter 7. Expand wealth through focus. What if the wealth you dream of is not just about earning more, but about the power of directing your attention exactly where it multiplies your results? Imagine turning each moment of clarity and action into a stepping stone, building real and lasting prosperity. So often, wealth seems like a distant summit, reserved for the lucky, the relentless, or those born with advantages. But look closely at stories of sustainable abundance, and you'll see a different pattern. Behind every success is a person who has learned to focus intently on opportunities that grow over time. The real asset, more than any amount of cash or connection, is their ability to bring attention, energy, and patience into alignment for maximum expansion. One of the most common struggles people face in their pursuit of wealth is feeling scattered or stretched thin by competing options. Everyone wants financial security, but distractions are everywhere. Get-rich-quick schemes, new side hustles, opportunities pitched by friends, and endless consumer temptations. The modern world shouts for your focus, while your hard work often feels divided among too many hopes and promises. You may have found yourself juggling multiple projects, jumping from strategy to strategy, or investing time and money in offers that promise immediate returns but rarely deliver lasting value. A sense of financial fatigue and decision paralysis can set in, making it harder to stick to plans or evaluate which path is worth truly following. You might see others build portfolios, expand businesses, or layer streams of income, yet under the surface, they share the same challenge: discipline and intentional focus. The solution to breaking through financial stagnation or overwhelm is not hustling harder or leaping impulsively at every shiny chance, but developing focused strategies that compound your wealth over time. This begins with narrowing your field, choosing a few high-potential opportunities instead of scattering effort everywhere. To do this, you need the courage to say no to distractions and trends that do not align with your long-term vision. Decide what wealth truly means for you: freedom, stability, generosity, adventure, and focus intensely on the vehicles, relationships, and actions that build toward those outcomes. This skill is about maximizing the resources already available to you and making every choice conscious and compoundable. Each time you direct your energy to growing a single business, mastering a key skill, or nurturing a meaningful investment, you build momentum and deepen expertise instead of spinning your wheels in shallow efforts. Embracing this idea opens a lifetime of benefits. The more you narrow your focus, the faster you master the arenas that move the financial needle, building exceptional value that can be leveraged or scaled. Focused wealth builders can see slow seasons as times to learn and prepare, rather than panic or scatter, because they trust their long-term plan. As your expertise compounds, your confidence and connections grow, organically attracting greater opportunities and partnerships. You waste less, invest more wisely, and enjoy the quiet power of being ahead of the market noise. Ultimately, you uncover the real secret of wealth. It's not just about making more, but about choosing with intention where to build, deepen, and multiply, so your future self reaps the rewards for years to come. To expand your wealth with focus, begin by identifying your most promising financial opportunity and make the decision to channel the majority of your attention and effort there. Write down your definition of wealth and clarify which one or two activities have the greatest potential to build toward your vision. Whether it is growing a side business, deepening expertise in your profession, investing consistently, or systematizing your savings. Next, review your calendar and habits to find areas where you spread your resources too thin. Multiple scattered side hustles, impulsive spending, or frequent switches between projects. For each one, ask, does this directly contribute to my version of wealth? If the answer is no, commit to pausing or eliminating the distraction for a set period. This consolidation is not about giving up variety forever, but about creating a season of concentrated effort that produces visible results. Let's consider Raul, a single parent who had tried a half-dozen online business opportunities, bits of stock trading, and frequent gig work to get ahead. Despite non-stop hustle, his savings grew at a crawl, his stress rose, and deep down he felt he was always starting over. Guided by the principle of focused wealth building, Raul picked the one business that most aligned with his skills and local demand, crafting handmade wooden furniture. Overwhelmed by ideas but determined, he set a rule to pause all extra hustles for 3 months and worked only on product design, local networking, and sales for this niche. He blocked dedicated time, used simple tracking sheets, and avoided chasing the next online pitch. Within a season, his sales tripled. He had loyal repeat customers, and perhaps most importantly, he felt in control of his growth. For Raul, the act of focusing was the breakthrough, revealing that wealth is as much about depth as it is effort. Committing to focused financial expansion brings a wave of advantages. Confidence grows as you witness real progress instead of scattered attempts. Bad habits like impulsive investing or endless comparison fade. In their place, measured improvements and thoughtful decisions take root. You save energy and dial up results, meeting your goals much sooner than you imagined. Being deeply engaged with one opportunity enables you to spot leverage points and innovations others miss in their haste. Networks deepen, clients or mentors become more invested, and you develop masterful skills that increase your lasting value throughout shifts in the economy or market. Take action now by declaring a focus month or quarter for yourself. Choose your core wealth-building activity. Set aside minor distractions and journal daily or weekly how your concentration is affecting results, mindset, and satisfaction. Notice what challenges arise and how your resilience grows as you remain committed. Celebrate the momentum that builds and reflect on how your daily choices feel purposeful. Each focused investment of time or money is a building block for lasting security and freedom. Looking ahead, prepare for the next chapter. A look at how to not only create wealth, but harness boldness so your freedom is built to last. If you found this approach sparks clarity or excitement, join us at Intentional Prosperity. Subscribe, tell us which goal you'll focus on, and encourage others by sharing your journey and tips for sustained growth and abundance. Chapter 8: Sustain Freedom with Boldness. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to maintain their sense of abundance, possibility, and peace no matter what changes around them? Picture living a life where freedom is not just achieved, but consistently protected and expanded. So many people fight hard to reach a certain level of success or independence, only to find that staying free, mentally, financially, and spiritually, can be even harder than getting there in the first place. Freedom can begin to feel fragile when you're bombarded by new uncertainties, shifting markets, family responsibilities, or your own lingering fears of what comes next. The excitement of reaching a goal is powerful, but without a strategy for sustaining it, many discover that freedom fades as old habits, self-doubt, or unexpected setbacks slip back in. This is a common and deeply frustrating challenge. After a season of big achievement, you might expect life to get simpler, but often maintaining momentum, confidence, and control becomes its own battle. You may notice how quickly comfort tempts you to become passive, or how easy it is to slide back into safe routines once you have a little more breathing room. The drive that pushed you forward can lose its edge, especially when new opportunities arise, and you wonder if you're risking hard-won stability by aiming higher or stretching further. Fear of losing what you've gained can quietly shape decisions, causing people to hold back from truly living boldly out of a desire to simply keep what they have. The rotation between striving and drifting can leave you longing for a more enduring sense of self-leadership and fulfillment. A freedom that doesn't depend on ideal conditions, but on the character you uphold day to day. The remedy to this cycle isn't found in more caution or playing smaller. The transformative solution is boldness, the willingness to continue making confident, value-driven choices and to assertively safeguard the life, abundance, and freedom you've created. This boldness is not reckless risk-taking, but a steady courage to challenge comfort, question limits, and set higher standards, even once you've achieved something meaningful. It's a daily declaration that freedom isn't a finish line but a lifestyle, a condition you craft and defend with intention. The essence of this approach is cultivating an attitude where you see each new day as an opportunity to strengthen your foundation and stretch for more, rather than settle for less. Being bold means saying yes to creative risks, new connections, and growth projects that build your future. It also means saying no, firmly and kindly, to draining habits, negative influences, and the subtle pull of complacency. Adopting this perspective ensures your freedom does not erode with time or challenge, but becomes more deeply rooted with each decision. As you lean into boldness, you experience not just continued success, but personal growth, greater confidence, and a buoyant joy that comes from knowing you are truly alive and in charge. Your independence becomes a source of inspiration to others, showing how sustained prosperity and inner security can flourish together when you embrace life's opportunities with courage and vision. With consistent boldness, you build a legacy, not only of wealth, but also of resilience, generosity, and purpose, passing that sense of freedom and possibility on to everyone you touch. To protect and grow your freedom with boldness, begin by taking inventory of where you've started to settle for just enough, instead of pursuing what truly excites and fulfills you. Write down a few areas in your finances, relationships, career, or daily routines where you may have become passive or overly cautious, even if you've succeeded by outside standards. This self-honesty is a bold move on its own, because it gives you a clear map of where growth has become stagnant. Now, select one of those areas and decide on a specific action that represents a bold, constructive move. This should feel slightly uncomfortable, but still manageable. For example, initiating a new investment, approaching a mentor, proposing a project at work, or setting a strong boundary to reclaim your time. Just as important, choose a habit or commitment that has outlasted its usefulness and intentionally let it go, making room for what will truly move you forward. Let's look at the story of Tanya, a freelancer who reached her long-time goal of consistent income. After years of hustle, she found security, but also realized her creative spark was fading. Rather than retreating into comfort, Tanya challenged herself to pitch a dream client she'd always felt was out of her league, and began learning a high-value skill to add to her service list. The first steps brought nerves, but she pushed forward, met new collaborators, and quickly realized she could set even higher standards for both payment and impact. Tanya also said no to projects that no longer excited her, freeing up time and focus. Within a few months, her income rose, her sense of power returned, and her passion reignited. Her example shows how boldness can be a conscious decision in the maintenance phase, allowing freedom to expand rather than contract. As you repeat this process, the benefits compound. With each bold step, you reaffirm your role as the designer of your fate, not a passive beneficiary of good fortune. You become more skilled at identifying opportunities lying just outside your comfort zone, training yourself to see challenge as a chance for renewal. The joy of personal growth replaces any creeping boredom, and you notice that your confidence fuels bolder dreams, rather than simply defending what you already possess. Others around you are inspired by your proactive energy and may become more courageous in their own pursuits, creating an uplifting cycle of growth and possibility in your circle. Now put this philosophy into practice by choosing one bold move for the coming week. It might be starting a conversation you keep delaying, volunteering for a leadership role, raising your prices, or even taking a deliberate day away to rethink your goals. Journal about your experience, track your emotional response, and celebrate not just the outcome, but the action itself. Remember, boldness is a renewable resource. You grow stronger every time you stretch beyond comfort, even in small ways. This journey doesn't end. It evolves. As you sustain your freedom with ongoing boldness, you ensure that your life remains alive with challenge and possibility, no matter how much you achieve. Let sustained boldness become your foundation for joyful, resilient living. If these lessons from intentional prosperity have brought fresh determination or insight, stay connected by subscribing, sharing your progress, and helping others redefine and defend their own freedom. Together, let's make boldness and lasting abundance a shared tradition. As you reach the end of this journey, remember that true financial freedom is built on focused intention, bold action, unwavering discipline, and the courage to push past fear. Throughout this book, you have learned how to clarify your goals, build transformational habits, strengthen your discipline, execute with precision, expand your wealth through purposeful focus, and sustain your freedom with lasting boldness. Each lesson offers not only practical steps, but the mindset shift needed to transform your ambitions into reality. Thank you for investing your time and energy into your own growth by joining us on this path. Your commitment to continuous improvement will lead to lasting change and fulfillment. If this book has inspired or helped you, please take a moment to like this video, share your experiences or thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the Intentional Prosperity channel so we can keep growing together and support each other's success.